Hi everyone, so in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to crochet this cute little dress which fits any of the animals in my Crochet Animals series. So for this dress you will need a 3.5mm crochet hook and fine yarn. So thank you very much for watching, and please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more crochet videos. So to begin the dress, you want to start off by making a slip knot. So to do a slip knot, take your yarn and take your finger and wrap the yarn around your finger once and then twice. Then take the first loop and pull it over the second loop, and then take the second loop and pull it all the way over your finger. You then want to take your crochet hook, go in through this space and pull tight, and there we have a slip knot. And now once you have your slip knot, we are now going to make our foundation chain, and we are going to chain 25. So chain 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 25. Finished making my foundation chain, and now we can move on to round 1 of the dress. So to begin round 1, we are going to do 1 double crochet into the second chain from the hook. So here is the first chain from the hook, and here is the second chain, and you want to yarn over and go down into this chain, the second chain from the hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through the final 2 loops on your hook. So there we have 1 double crochet into that chain, and now we're going to do the same thing into the next chain, yarn over and go down into the next chain and do 1 double crochet into this one. And just continue this for round 1. You want to work 1 double crochet into each and every chain. So I'm just coming to the end of round 1, so I have 1 last chain to work into, and whilst doing this last double crochet we are going to change colours. So you want to yarn over and go down into the last chain as you normally would and start to work your double crochet, but you want to stop right before the last step. So usually we would yarn over and pull through these 2 loops here, but you do not want to do that. You want to drop the yarn that you were using and then take your new colour or your new yarn, place it over the end of your crochet hook and pull it through. And there we have finished that last double crochet and changed colours at the same time. And now you can fasten off the colour that you were using, leaving a long tail to weave in or work over later. And we're ready to move on to round 2. And at the end of round 1 you should have 24 double crochets. So we are now on to round 2, and to begin round 2 you want to chain 1 and turn with your new colour, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So we are going to start off by working 1 double crochet into this first stitch here. So yarn over and go down into the first stitch, and I'm actually going to work over the 2 ends that we have from left over from our colour change here, just to start the process of weaving them in to save me a little bit of time at the end of the dress. So there I have 1 double crochet into that first stitch, and then you want to do 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then work 2 double crochets both into this next stitch. So like that. So there we have 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, and you want to keep repeating that all the way along for round 2. So we're going to do 1 double crochet into this next stitch here, and then 1 into the next, and then into the next stitch you want to work 2 double crochets, both into this one, like that, and just keep repeating this. So I'm just coming to the end of round 2, so I have 1 stitch left to work into. So I have done 1, 1, 2, and then 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and I need to finish off by doing 2 double crochets into this last stitch at the end. So there is 1, and then whilst working this final one, we are going to change colours. So in the same way as we did before, work a double crochet, get to the last step, stop here, drop the yarn that you were using, take your new colour, place it over the end of your hook and pull it through, and there we have changed colours. And now you can fasten off the colour that you were using, leaving a tail to weave in or work over later, and we're ready to move on to round 3. So to begin round 3, you want to chain 1 and turn using your new colour. So I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and as usual this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So this round is pretty similar to last round, but last round we did 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, and in this round we're going to do 3 double crochets, 1 into each stitch, and then 2 double crochets into the next. So yarn over and go down into this first stitch here, as our chain 1 did not count as a stitch, and work 1 double crochet, and then do 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then 1 into the third one along, and I'm working over my ends here to save me weaving them in later, and then do 2 double crochets, both into the next stitch, like that. So there we have 1, 1, 1, 2, and just keep repeating this all the way along. I have finished working that all the way along for round 3, and then whilst working the last double crochet I changed colours back to the white that I'm using, and now we can move on to round 4. So to begin this round, chain 1 and turn, and as usual this does not count as a stitch. So this round follows the same pattern, but in this round we're going to do 4 double crochets, 1 into each stitch, and then 2 double crochets into the next, all the way along. So do 1 double crochet down into the first stitch, like that, and then do 1 into the second one along, and the third, and the fourth. So we're doing 4 double crochets, 1 into each stitch, and then do 2 double crochets, both into this next stitch. So like that. And you just want to keep repeating that for round 4. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. So there I have finished working that for round 4, and at the end of that round I changed colours, and at the end of round 4 you should have 48 double crochets. And now we can move on to round 5, and round 5 is a really important round, as in this round we're going to be adding in the shape of our dress. So you want to start off by chaining 1 and turning, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So we are going to do 1 double crochet down into this first stitch here, as our chain 1 did not count as a stitch. And then we are going to do 2 double crochets both into the next stitch. Like that. So there we have done 1 double crochet into 1 stitch and then 2 into the next, and we're going to do that 2 more times. So do 1 double crochet into the next stitch and then 2 both into the next, and then do that for a 3rd time. So like that. So there we have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and this is going to form the first half of the back of our dress. And now we can move on to the first armhole or the first sleeve, and you want to chain 3, so chain 1, 2 and 3, and then skip 12 stitches. So count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12, and we're going to skip that 12th stitch, and then into the next stitch you want to yarn over and go into this next stitch, so this would be the 13th one along, and work 1 double crochet like that. So there we have formed our first little sleeve. So there we have 1 double crochet into that stitch, and now we're going to do 2 double crochets both into the next one, like that. And you want to repeat that set of stitches 5 more times. So do that once more. Like that. And now do that 4 more times, and then we will have 6 sets of those stitches in total, and that will form the front of our dress. So like that. So there I have done 1 and 2 6 times in total, and now we can move on to the next sleeve. So we are going to chain 3 and then skip 12 stitches. So we're doing the exact same thing as we did for the other one. So there I have my 12th stitch here, so I'm going to yarn over and go into the next stitch, so this would be the 13th one along, and do a double crochet like that. And now I'm going to do 2 double crochets into the next stitch, and then I'm going to repeat that 2 more times, so you should have 4 stitches left, and you want to do 1, 2, 1, 2, and that will form the other half of the back. So there we have come to the end of round 5, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds, and we have created the shape of our dress. And now we can move on to round 6. So to begin round 6, you want to chain 1 and turn. And for this round, we are going to do 1 double crochet into 2 stitches and then 2 double crochets into the next stitch. So do 1 into the first stitch and then 1 into the next, and then do 2 double crochets both into this next stitch here. So there we have 1, 1, 2, and you just want to keep repeating this all the way along. And when you get to your little chains here, your chain 3, you want to keep doing that. So keep doing 1, 1, 2 into each of those chains. And these chains can be really, really tricky to get into. So what I'll do is I'll work along and then I'll show you what to do when you get to that part. So I have reached my chains, so I did 1, 1 and then 2 double crochets into that last stitch there. And now I have reached my 3 chains, and then rather than going into those chains, I'm just going to go into the chain space here, so into the hole. So I'm going to do 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet all into this chain space here, and then 2 double crochets. Like that, and that just saves you from spending lots of time trying to get into those teeny weeny stitches. So now we're going to go and continue working our pattern all the way along. So there I have come to the end of round 6, and at the end of this round you should have 56 double crochets. And now we can move on to round 7. So to begin round 7, chain 1 and turn. And for this round we are going to do 7 double crochets and then 2 double crochets into the next stitch. So we're doing 1 double crochet into each of the first 7 stitches. So go down and do 1 and then 1 into the next stitch and the third one along, fourth, fifth, sixth and 7th. So there we have 7 double crochets, and now do 2 both into the next. And just keep repeating this all the way along. So this is just going to increase the width of our dress just that little bit extra. So there I have come to the end of round 7, so I did 2 double crochets into the last stitch at the end. And now to finish off this round, we are going to work a slip stitch into the first double crochet of the round. So this is the back of our dress, and it is going to be open at the top with a little button, so it's going to kind of have a keyhole effect at the back. And then it's going to be joined from the end of round 7 onwards. So we need to join our work. So go across to the first double crochet of the round and work a slip stitch into that stitch. And there we have joined our work, and now we can move on to round 8. So we are now on to round 8, and the rest of our dress is really easy. We're just going to do rounds of plain double crochet until you have the length dress that you want. So if you have a look at my dress here that I did, all of these rounds are just plain double crochet. So I'm going to do around about 9 rounds of plain double crochet to finish off my dress, but you can do as many as you like. You could do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, depending on how long you want your dress to be. So to begin each round, you want to chain 1 and turn. So take your yarn and chain 1 and turn to begin every round. And now we're just going to do 1 double crochet into each stitch. So go down into the first stitch here and do 1 double crochet, then do 1 into the next stitch and 1 into the next, and just keep repeating that all the way around. And then when you get to the end of the round, work a slip stitch into the first double crochet that you worked. So you want to join every single round at the end, and then repeat that again. Chain 1 and turn and do 1 double crochet into each stitch around, finishing off with a slip stitch into the first double crochet. And in each round you should find that you have 63 double crochets. So just keep repeating rounds of plain double crochet, and then once you do that, this is what you will have. So I did 9 rounds of plain double crochet for this dress, and then when you get to the end you want to work a slip stitch into the last double crochet and fasten off. So pull your yarn out and your hook and cut your yarn, and then you want to weave all of your ends nice and securely into the inside of the dress. So weave them all in. So weave them all in nice and securely, including the ones from the colour change. And then you want to finish off by adding a little button to one side of the top, and then work a chain or a chain loop on the opposite side. So to do that, you simply want to attach your yarn into one of the stitches opposite the button, and then make a chain long enough to go around the button so that it fits nicely around the neck, and then work a slip stitch into the top here, into the top of the dress. And then you can weave that end nice and securely into the inside, and there we have finished. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it easy to follow. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more crochet videos, and in the description box below this video I will leave a link to where you can find the written pattern for this dress. So the written pattern for this dress is included in the pattern for my crochet rabbit, so for Ralph and Ruthie Rabbit, and I have this dress and then Ralph's outfit included in there as well, but this dress will fit any of the animals in my crochet animal series. So I will leave a link to the written pattern in the description box below this video, and I will also leave a link to the rest of the tutorials in my crochet animal series. And I will also in the description box leave links to my Instagram and Twitter accounts. So I always like to post updates and pictures on there, especially Instagram, and I would love to see your crochet work on there as well. And thank you again for watching. Bye.